This video has been made possible by RebusFarm, the professional render service.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Well, today we're going to do a Maya only tutorial, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can model a basic house. Okay, so that's all there's to it. Let's dive in and check it out. Here we go. Okay guys, so we're in Maya 2017. We're going to do a house as mentioned, and this house will be slightly more elaborate than the one I did a while back, because this is actually based on an actual house, and it's a house that I saw in a city called Celebration, believe it or not, in the USA. Okay, so let's get started with that. We're going to take a polygon cube for the base of our house. We're going to hit R to scale it, bring that up, and stretch it out until we are looking at something that fits the base for our house. And here we want to keep in mind that we're going to take the angle for the roof based on this cube here. So when we're happy with this, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Insert Edge Loop, option box, multiple edge loops, and we'll set that to 1 because it will then position it exactly in the middle. Okay, like so. We're going to close that out. We're going to hit Q on our keyboard to shut that down. And then we're going to switch views. We're going to go to right-click vertex, take these two vertices, and hit W and start to bring that down until we're happy with the angle of the roof. Okay, let's do, yeah, that looks about right. Okay, cool. So that's that. Now let's see, what we're going to do here is we are actually not going to use this as our roof, so we're going to delete that, and we'll delete that as well. So we'll make that separately, and the reason for that is that we are going to construct a separate roof that's going to extend forward. So that's one basic element. Then the next one we're going to do is we're going to go and add another edge loop. Let's see. Right there, we're going to set it to manual. We're going to go into this view here, and let's see, we'll bring that in to about there, and keep in mind, because of the way it's positioned, that it's warped. So we need to move it a little bit, but we'll do that when we get to that. Okay, so I'm going to orient on the top vertex up here. That one is sloped to the left, as you can see. So I'm going to hit Q on my keyboard. I'm going to right click on a vertex, hit 4 for wireframe mode so I can see it better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this vertex right here and just move that until it's aligned like so. And we'll do the same up here. Okay, and that one you need to keep in mind because you don't want to change the angle here. So we're going to bring that in like so. And let's see, are we still good? Yeah. You can see that we need to come up a little bit. Okay. So the other thing we can do here is we can snap to grid, which will kind of help us later on. So let's do that. We'll just take that and hold down X and move it. And we'll do the same here. We'll just hold down X, and then we'll snap all these vertices to our grid so it's nice and clean, and from a measurement point of view we don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, so with this one as well, what we'll do is let's see, bring that like so. Yeah, it's good. So this one should be right here, and this one should be right here. Okay, and it's a little bit more work in this stage, but it will help us later on. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to right click, go to this guy, select it, and we're going to hit Control E to extrude, and hit W to pull that out like so. So that's going to be kind of an extension to the house, and we need to kind of eyeball that, how far we want that to come out, like so. We don't need this because it's part of the roof, like I said before. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this angle down, like so. So what we're going to do there is we are going to, let's see if we can do that with a normal edge loop. We'll take one of these here. Let's see how that turns out. Actually, that's going to add way too much. We don't want that. So hit Control Z to go back. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our modeling toolkit. And let's see, that is, where is it? This guy. And we're going to go to our multi-cut tool. And I'll move this out of the way. We'll go in here. And what I want is to go from right there. I'm trying to mimic the angle of that roof there. So let's see, what's the best way to do that? Yeah, we'll go from here. And then we're going to click that in the middle right there. We're going to enter, and let's have a look. Okay, we're going to Q on our keyboard. We're going to right click on the face, and we're going to take these two and delete that. And that area will be covered by a roof section, so not to worry. And let's see, height-wise, we should be okay as well. Yeah, all right, cool. So we got that. Then let's deal with our porch, and our porch will fit in here, obviously. So let's see, we'll take a polygon cube. We'll hit W to move that out. We're going to hit R to push that in and then scale it out. So we got something to talk about. And I'll just close out this stuff. So we're going to approach it from the top view, hit 4 for wireframe mode and F to zoom in. Well, hopefully you guys can see it. So what I'll do is I'll hit 5 and then I'll turn on my X-ray. That's a bit better, yeah. So I'm going to hit W to move that in. That's where I want it to be positioned. I want it to stick out slightly, but not too much. So we're going to right click on the vertex, drag select these guys, and bring that into about there. And what we can do, just to be consistent, is to hold down X so we can snap that. And we'll take these two and we'll hold down X and snap that as well. All right. So that will give us the floor for our porch. We're going to right click, we're going to bring that down. And we kind of need to decide on a height because we want to have some steps at some point. That looks all right. Okay, cool. And then what we're going to do is we are going to create a number of vertical pillars. Now we don't want too many because at this end the roof of the porch will be connected to the walls and up here as well. But here on the corner and on this corner and right here we want one. Okay. So I need to eyeball the height first. So what I'll do is I'll hit Control D to copy this guy. So I can just bring that up and see how far up I want that to be. Okay. Now I'm going to have a window up here in this wall and up here as well. So I need to have enough room to do that. And we're going to right click and go to vertex. I'm going to hit 4 for wireframe mode. So on this guy, right click vertex, drag select these. So I can move that up and hit 5 again. So we have the angle for our roof. That's a bit much. Okay, and now we need to figure out if we still have enough room to put a window up here. I think it can come down a little bit. So let's do that. And that looks better. Yes. Okay. Now we can fix the position of this guy later. That's fine. But for now, we're good. So let's start with our first vertical pillar. And actually, before we do that, we're going to pull this out a little bit. And let's right click on the face, select that back face and delete that. For the simple fact that it's additional poly count that we don't need. So we're not going to do that. Okay. Just going to go in here, F to zoom in, make sure I got a clean connection. And we're good. All right. So let's start with our first vertical pillar. We'll take a polygon cube, pull that out. We can hit R to scale it in and then pull that out. And because the shape and the form of this house is pretty straightforward. This is a nice opportunity to make it a little bit more fancy, if you know what I mean. So when we have lights and so forth, that it looks a bit better. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by roughly positioning it. We're going to hit F to zoom in and 4 for wireframe mode. Okay, so that's going to be just about there. And as soon as we're happy with the height and position, we can then start to play with that. So this is going to come down. It's going to be resting on our porch right there. And on the top, it's a slightly different story. And that is because of this view. After zoom in and 4 for wireframe mode, you can see that up here we have to right click on the vertex and bring that up like so. Okay. Now again, this guy, right click object mode, has a top and a bottom face, and again we don't need that. So F to zoom in, right click face, delete that one and delete that one. We're going to move it back, right click object mode, in our top view, there we go. Should be good. Okay. Now this roof is going to extend at some point, so don't worry about that. So that looks good. What we're going to do is we're going to slightly alter the shape, like I said, to add a little bit more decorative feeling to it. So we're going to jump in at the front here. What we're going to do is we're going to go to object mode, go to insert edge loop, and let's do multiple, and let's do actually let's do this manually. We'll do it manually. Okay, so we're going to do one up here, we're going to do one down here, and we'll do one here, 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 and here. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, so Q on our keyboard, we're going to right click and go to face, and we're going to select all these faces going around like so, and we'll do the same here and same here. Okay, we're going to Control E to extrude, R to scale out. Actually, that's not what I want. I want to change the offset. So we're going to hit Control A and let's change the offset instead. 0.2. That looks a bit warped. And the problem there is that I used to have another window that would pop up and that disappeared, and I have no idea why, and I can't get it back. So that's not good. So I'll just have to do this in a different way. So I'm going to hit Control Z to go back. Still looks okay, yeah. All right, so what I'll do is just as a workaround, sorry about that, I'll select that, Control E to extrude, R to scale out, like so, and then push that back in, like that. That is a bit much, so we're gonna bring it in, but you get the idea, right? So we're gonna do, we'll do this, and then actually we'll do this. Control E to extrude, R to scale out, and this time we have a reference, so we can switch to this view. Okay, so that looks about right, and then bring that in like so, and then we'll do this one. Control E to extrude, R to scale out, and again keep an eye on the one below, and then push it back. That should be it. Okay, so let's see what we got. All right, so now that we have that, we're gonna right click, go to object mode, we're gonna take that, we're gonna Control D to duplicate it, we're gonna hit W to move that over to, let's see, that's gonna be our opening. Now this is sticking out, so we want one there as well. That's good. So we're going to hit Control D again. We're going to move that over. Okay, so this will be our door opening. We'll move this one over slightly, a bit more. And we can decide to do one in the middle if we like. We don't have to, but let's see, let's not do that. And then we'll take this one here and we'll hit Control D and we'll move that in here. So we're going to hit W, we're going to move that over. And that one we're going to need to hug to the wall, if you will. So we're going to have a look here. We want that to touch the wall where we have a slight opening in the back. It is what it is. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to right click on the vertex. We're going to drag select these two and bring that up until we have a fit. Okay. So that's what we have. Like I said, the other ones we don't really need. We're going to make a simple fence in the middle here. So for that, we'll take a polygon cube and we'll bring that out and down. Hard to scale that down, pull that up like so. Each rotate, hold down J to snap to 90 degrees. Let's hit W and move that in here. Okay. From the top view, we're going to have a look. We want that to kind of be in the middle there, like so. We're going to move that over. And then we're going to right click on the vertex, drag like that, and move that over. And once we're happy with that, we're going to go to this view. Sorry about that. And we're going to see what our height will be. So probably something like so. Come on, that's right. I'm just going to take out these faces. One there. And one there. Okay. We're going to right click on object mode. We're going to move that back until we're happy with the position. And once we have that, let's see, we can hit Control D to duplicate it, W to move it down, F to zoom in, and we're going to keep that just high enough so it's in between these two guys. That works out nicely. It's just not, the width is not good enough. You can see between the two there, and we'll bring this one down a little. So let's just adjust that. We'll select them both, go to Mesh and Combine. Then we're going to go into this view. We're going to right click on vertex, drag select these vertices, and W. Just bring them in a little, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put in some pillars or whatever they're called. And for that, what we'll do is we'll take, we'll keep it fairly simple. We'll take one of these guys, let's see, Control D to copy. We'll pull that over. We'll go to Mesh and Separate, take one of them and delete it. Take the other one, hit E to rotate it. Let's go to Modify Center Pivot first. Hold down J to snap. We're going to scale that way down. Let's excuse me. Let's bring that in. That's a bit too thin. Yeah, that kind of looks okay. So then let's go in and we're going to right click, go to vertex, drag select the top vertices and bring that in like so. We'll go to the bottom here and we'll bring that in like so. And then we're going to right click on object mode. We're going to move that over here. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate it. Let's move it over, something like this. And let's hold down Shift and hit D to copy that process. And let's see how that turns out. And that's actually not bad at all, okay? And then we're going to select all of these guys, not that. And we're going to go to Mesh and Combine and modify the center pivot. So now we can hit Control D again to move that out, E to rotate it, hold on J to snap, W to move that in, and we want that to be in here, and these two will do that in a sec. So height wise we're good. Okay, let's do something like this, and let's see how this turns out for us. So I'm going to hit Control D once more, and now I'm going to take the distance here manually, and let's see, then we're going to go to Mesh and Separate. I'll take this one and delete it. We'll drag select all of these, not the house, and we're going to hit W. Hang on, let's go to Mesh and Combine, and we'll bring that over and level that out. Okay, so that's good. And then we're going to take this here, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J to snap, W to move over, and let's get that. Okay, these guys need to come back a little, that's fine. We're going to make sure that this is positioned correctly. We're going to move that in like so. Have to zoom in. Alright, we're going to right click and go to vertex, drag select that, and bring that in here. Have to zoom in. There you go. And then we got these little guys that we just created, and we're going to move them in until they are in the middle. Okay, a little bit tedious process, but it's okay, I think. Yep. Then we have the bottom section here, which is typically something like either a wall or something like that. So I think we'll do that. We'll cover it in rocks later on. But for now, we'll take a polygon cube. We'll hit W, we'll bring that down and pull that out. And let's see if we can fit that under there. I have to zoom in. Okay, and we're going to hit R to scale that up. We'll hit W to move that over here. Okay, we're going to right click, go to vertex, take this and bring that over here to about there, and then take these and move it over here. Now let's have a look and see what it looks like. Okay, we're going to go to object mode, we're going to bring that up. Okay, we're going to go to vertex just on this guy. There you go. And then we're going to take the bottom part and hold down X and snap that. Now we do have a number of faces here that we don't need. And so as before, we're going to go to object mode. Come on, object mode. Let's bring that out. I don't need this face here, so we're going to get rid of that. Don't need that one either. I don't need the one on the back. I do need that one. I don't need the top one, and I really don't need the bottom one either. So anything I can get rid of is good. Okay, so let's bring that back in and make sure it's positioned correctly. Let's just have a quick look. And here's a slight opening here, which is perfect. That's what we want. Looks like I took out one face too many here. So we're gonna right click and go to edge, take that, Control E to extrude it, and W to push that in, like so. And we're good. Okay. So now that we have that, let's have a look at our roof here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to object mode, and we're gonna have that extended a bit more. First, we're gonna right click and go to face, take this and pull that out, like so. And then we're gonna right click, go to face and take this, and we're gonna pull that out, but we want to maintain the same angle. So let's see, we're gonna, we're gonna do that like so. And that should be okay. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah, I guess so. And then what we want to do is we want to do some decoration up on the top here. So for that, what we'll do is we'll take this guy, go to mesh and separate. We're going to go to object mode. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate it, and go to modify and center pivot. Where do you go? We're going to bring that up. And let's see if that's high enough. Actually, let's go all the way up here. Yeah, we'll do that. So I'm gonna check it from this view here. And I got a specific plan with this. So I'm gonna bring that down just a bit, like so. We're gonna right click at a vertex, take these vertices and bring that in here. And then take these and bring that in here, like so. All right, and then we'll do the same here. Let's see, right click object mode, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, and hold down J to snap to 90 degrees, W to pull out, pull down, and just bring that in like so. Okay, we're going to hit W, we're going to move that over here. Right click, go to vertex, drag select. Have to zoom in, let's do a clean connection. Have to zoom in. Okay, so let's see, that one needs to come up obviously. Kind of odd why that didn't have the same height. Thought I did, but let's just fix that. Okay, so vertex and vertex. A lot of details in the front there, but that's fine. So it looks like that's all good. Let's think here. Okay, almost done with the porch. What I want to do is some slight elements. Let's see. Yeah, I just want to do that because it will kind of be a finishing touch. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take all of this. We're going to hit Control H to hide it. We're going to take a polygon cube, F to zoom in. Let's hit R and scale that down and in, something like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to Insert Edge Loop, Option Box, and we'll do multiple. Let's do 5, and we'll do 5 here and 5 here. Close that out. Okay. Then we're going to go to this view. No, not that view. This view. I have to zoom in. And we're going to right click and go to vertex. And let's start to manipulate this guy. And We'll do that by taking these, come on, vertex. Let's try that again. Vertex, these, and these. This may look odd, but don't worry about it. Just trying to be a little bit creative here. Now that's, let's see, that's not too bad. And then we'll take this and this. And you're probably thinking, what the hell is he doing? Well, I'm thinking the same thing. So let's see, we're going to do insert edge loop, option box, single, and we'll add an edge loop there to hold that shape. And then we'll do one here and one here. Hit Q on our keyboard, right click object mode, and go to mesh and smooth. And let's see, let's do one more. I know it's quite high poly, but it is what it is. Okay, so we're going to go back to let's see, display and show all. Yeah, it's way too high poly. I can't do that. Let's hit Control Z. We'll do it like that. It's going to be a detail. So okay, so we're going to go to display and show all. There we go. We're going to take that thing, we're going to bring that out, and let's switch to this view here. Let's bring that down and in. F to zoom in, R to scale down, and let's bring that in here. Let's hit R and scale it down some more. Okay, and let's see how that looks. And you can come up with whatever you want. It's just that we have kind of a decorative item there. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take this guy, we'll hit Control D to duplicate it, W to move it over here, E to rotate it, and hold down J while it rotates to snap to 90 degrees. Hit W, bring that in there. F to zoom in. Okay, so we got two there, which is good. And then we'll do one here. Control D to duplicate, move that over here. E to rotate, hold down J. That should be it, or not. One more, yep. W to move it out. Have to zoom in, and let's see where we're at. Okay. That seems to be all right. Cool. So, and then we need one more in this corner. So, Control D, E to rotate, hold on J, and W to move it in, and F to zoom in. Need to rotate a bit more, and W to move that into position. All right, so what do we got? Excuse me. So we got those elements, and yeah, it's just enough to make our porch look slightly different. And then what you can do is, if you like, you can put some slats up here. And what we'll do for now, I'll probably texture that just so it looks cool. We'll take a polygon cube and we'll fit it in there. So we're just going to pull that out. I'm going to hit R, we're going to scale that in. We're going to jump to that view. Let's hit W and move that down there. Have to zoom in. That part looks fine. Then we're going to right click, go to vertex. We're going to bring that down so it's fitting inside that area. Then we're going to take, oops, then we're going to take these two and bring that all the way here. And then take the top one and bring that way down. Have to zoom in. And like in a typical real house, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we just have a very, very slight excuse me, opening there. And let's tweak this as well. Reason being that once you have lighting set up in your scene, you'll see that it will add some realism to it. And let's bring that in. Have to zoom in. Let's hit R to scale that in a bit. And we'll check it from the top to make sure that it's positioned correctly. So we'll hit W, move it in to about there, and that should be good. Okay, so now that we have all that, let's see what we're going to do about our windows. Okay, now we're going to use the window multiple times. So once we have it fabricated, we'll do one up here. We'll do one here on the side, we'll do one over here, and maybe even one on the side there. And then we've got windows down here as well, okay? So let's start with that. We're gonna take a polygon cube. Let's hit W and move that out. We're gonna hit R to scale it up, push it in, and raise it up. Now, what I want is slider windows. So I'm gonna push it in some more. I'm gonna select this, right click face, and I'm gonna hit Control E to extrude, R to scale in. And now I need to look at that manually, which is kind of a pain in the you know what, because I don't have that little menu anymore for whatever reason, like so. We're gonna hit G to repeat last command, W to push in, and as we push in, we're going to hit R and scale that just slightly to get a slight slope, if you will. And then we're going to hit G to repeat again and W to push in, like so. Okay. Now we just need to make sure that that back end is not sticking out, and it's not, so that's fine. We're going to select that face on the back. We're going to delete it. That's okay. Then we're going to borrow one of these guys here. So we're going to go to Mesh and Separate. We'll take the top one. Control D to duplicate. W to move over. Let's do Modify Center Pivot. And let's bring that in. I have to zoom in, there we go. And let's get into our window here. Right click vertex, bring that in. Now we don't need the backside here, so we're gonna delete that. Right click object mode, let's hit W and bring that in. And we want to do that in a way that it fits, obviously, so that looks okay. Then we're going to hit F to zoom in and see how far that is going. So we're going to bring that back just a little, and that looks all right. So that's cool. Then we want to have a cross section in our windows. So for that, we'll take this, Control D to duplicate, W to move that over, like so. We are going to right click, go to face, select that face and hit R and push that in. So we'll get kind of an angle like that. And then we're going to go to object mode, Control D to duplicate it, E to rotate it. Oh, hang on, it's not centered. So delete that, try that again. Modify center pivot, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate. And we're at 90 degrees, like so. And then we're going to select all of that. We're going to go to mesh and combine. And now we can start to bring that in. So we're going to hit W, move that in. And then we can make it fit. So we're going to hit W and bring that up. Now that's our top window there. So let's kind of level that out like so. And then I'll go in and right click at a vertex. Take those and bring that in. Those seem to be okay. And now let's have a quick look. See what we got here. That's not bad. And then we're going to right click and go to object mode, and we're going to select that. Control D to duplicate, W to move down. And then we're going to bring that up just a bit. Right click at our vertex, take these and bring that down. Take those and bring that down. And then what we'll do, just to give the illusion of a slider window, is we'll push this in a little bit. That shouldn't be a huge problem, okay? And then we have a window, okay? So we're going to select this, we're going to go to mesh and combine, and then we're going to start to add a few windows, okay? So let's bring that in. Let's move it over here and over here. Let's have a look from this view here. All right, so I'm going to hit R, I'm going to scale that down. I want that window to be basically here, but it's a bit big. So I'm going to bring that up. Now I want it to be perfectly aligned, so I'm going to hit the plus key on my numeric keyboard. So as that yellow arrow moves up, you can see that's perfectly centered. All right, so I'm happy with that. I want it to hug the wall, obviously, so F to zoom in. Let's bring that in like so. All right, and then we have to add one more element, which is that little thingy down here. So for that, a little cube. We're going to push that down, push that in, stretch that out. W to push that in and push that down. Let's have a look. Okay, that seems to be all right. Pull that up. And then we're going to hit F to zoom in. Maybe hit R and push it in a little. W to move that up. And we want it to slope just slightly. So we're going to right click at a face and push that down a little. And take the whole thing and bring it in like that. Okay, so how does that look? It looks okay. Select it, select that. Go to mesh and combine and modify center pivot. Okay, excuse me. So that's our window. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate it. We're going to hit E to rotate it, and again hold J to snap it. W to move it over, and let's move that window in here, and that's going to be pretty close to our roof line there, but that's fine. Let's have a look here, see if that's in the middle, And now let's see if it's hugging our wall. Okay, so that's fine. Now I want a window up here as well, but I don't want it to be exactly the same shape, so I'm gonna select it and hit Control D to duplicate it and bring it over. Each rotate it, again hold down J to snap it, and we're at 90 degrees, W to move in. And once I have it positioned roughly, nope, not that view, this view here, I need to decide where I want it to be, and height wise it should be slightly higher than these guys. So we're just going to bring that up to about there, and I want it to be a bit thinner. Now the problem is if I just start to stretch it in by scaling it inwards, it's not going to look okay. So what I need to do is go to right click vertex, drag select these and these, and then take the scale tool and bring it in so it won't be warped, and just bring it in slightly. I just want to have a kind of a visual difference, that it's not identical to the other ones. Okay, we're going to hit W to bring that out a bit, like so. So that's that. Then we need to have, let's see, a window downstairs, the big window, if you will, underneath the porch. And for that, we'll take this and we'll bring that out. And what we'll do is, let's see, we'll bring that, oh, didn't copy, sorry. Control D to copy. Yeah, there we go. Bring that down. Okay, we're going to check the height first, which needs to go up. And for that, we're actually going to go underneath our porch and kind of see how that looks and feels. And we need to adjust that. I'm aware of that. That's fine. Height wise, yeah, let's bring it down just a bit. That seems to be okay. We're going to bring it over to here, which is good. And there are a couple of ways we can address this, but for now I'm going to go to mesh and separate. Take that little thingy down there. We're going to move that out of the way. Then I'm going to take this guy with all of its components, and let's see if we can do that easier. Let's try that again. Okay, so we're gonna go to mesh and combine again, modify center pivot. We're gonna Control D to duplicate. We're gonna W to move that over and have a look from this view. Make sure that they're touching like that. And then we're going to Shift D, which didn't work, looks like. It did, actually. Good. Have to zoom in, and let's bring that in like so. Okay. So once we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy. We're going to hit W, go to Modify and Center Pivot first. We're going to bring that in, have a look from this view. We're going to have that stick out a little bit at this end, and then we're going to right click at our vertex, not that, right click vertex, drag select that, and have that stick out at that end, like so, maybe a bit more. Alright, so we seem to have our windows. Now this thing here isn't thick enough. Okay, so we're going to hit R to scale it. We're going to hit W to pull that out. I pushed it down, and that is maybe too much, but Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we're getting there. We need a door, obviously. So let's see if we can steal some components here. We'll take this guy once again. Control D to duplicate. Let's see, what's the quickest way here? Yeah. Control D to duplicate. We're going to bring that down, and let's do that here, so we don't have to go underneath the ports and so forth. Okay, so we're going to go to mesh and separate. We're going to take that bottom section and delete it. We're going to take these guys and delete that as well. Okay, so this is our main door, if you will. And what we'll do is we'll right click at a vertex. We'll bring that down a bit so we'll get a proper height. We're going to go to face. We're going to hit Control E to extrude, R to scale in, both from that angle and from that angle, G to repeat, W to push out, and R to slightly scale in. Okay, and then we're going to go in to insert edge loop right there, and we'll add an edge loop here and an edge loop here, like so. Hit Q on your keyboard, right click face, select that face, and that's, I'm not too happy with that. Hang on guys, we're going to hit Control Z to go back. This doesn't look clean. There we go. So what we'll do it is this way. Control E to extrude, W to pull out, R to scale down. Yeah, it's not bad. And then we'll do G to repeat last command, R to scale in again, like this. G to repeat, W to push in, and R to scale in. G to repeat, R to scale down, W to pull out, and that's going to be our door. Okay. All right. So we got that. We're going to go to modify and center pivot, and let's bring that in here. Let's hit W to push that back. Have to zoom in. Now we don't need the back side of that door. Oh, it's actually already out, so that's good. And that makes sense because we use that window, remember? Okay, so let's bring that up a little. And let's see if the dimensions are correct scale-wise. And they seem that they are, which is good. Let's just have a look at this. Okay, the door needs to be bigger. I'm just gonna scale that up a little bit. Hit W, bring that up like so. And I think that looks better. Okay, now let's create a doorknob. For that, we'll take a polygon cylinder. We'll pull that out. And let's hit Control A. Let's go in and set caps to 0, and we'll do 3 in height. Okay. And then we'll select it. We'll jump to this view, get rid of this guy. Have to zoom in. We're gonna right click at a vertex, drag select these, and hit R to scale in like so. And then right click, go to face. Control E to extrude, W to pull up, and R to scale in somewhat. And then we're going to go in to insert edge loop. A few years ago they changed the menu on that one, and ever since I'm always looking for that. Okay, Q on a keyboard. We're going to right click at a face, delete that bottom face, and then right click at object mode and go to mesh and not separate, mesh and smooth. Just going to go back a few steps because it's becoming way too high poly. So what I'll do is I'll take that face and I'll hit Control E to extrude, R to scale in, and W to push down, like so. And that will be it. Okay. So we're going to take that, excuse me, Control E to extrude. Not Control E to extrude. E to rotate, J to snap, W to move in and down, F to zoom in. Slightly big, as you can see. F to zoom in once again, make it smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, now let's eyeball this and see where it's at, and if that's the right position, it needs to move over here, like so. And little details like that, you'll notice them immediately. Okay, so it looks like we're close to doing our roof. The only thing we need to do first is our steps. And let's do that first. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a, nope, not a sphere. I don't want a sphere, I want a cube. So we're going to pull that out. R to push that down, like so. We're going to push that down, we're going to bring that in. Let's have a look from this view. I have to zoom in. Okay, so it's going to be between these two pillars here. It's going to have to come in a bit. And usually it's okay to stick out slightly, but not too much. So we'll do that. We'll hit R to bring it in a bit. We should hit F to zoom in and have a look. So we're going to bring that in like so. Okay, steps are way too big, so we're going to bring that in like that. That seems to be okay. Then we're going to go in and have a look from this view. Still looks very thick, so we're going to right click on a vertex, drag like that, and bring that up like this. We're going to select that. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to move that. Have to zoom in to about there, and then there. Let's have a look at the step height. And let's hit Shift D, and Shift D. That should be fine. Yeah, okay. And then we need the framework for our steps. So let's see what the best way is to do that. We'll take another polygon cube. We'll hit W to pull that out. And then we'll hit R to push that in. W to push that down. Let's have a look from this view. What we're going to do is we're going to move that up here. I have to zoom in. And let's see, we're going to right click on a vertex. We're going to move that to about there. And then we'll take this one and we'll move that to about there. Just eyeballing this here. Just snap that. So this angle should be good. And it seems to be. Okay. So we're gonna right click at object mode. We're gonna select this guy. We're gonna hit R and push that in. Not too much. W to move that inside our steps. And now it seems that our steps are quite thin. So to compensate that, we'll make this a bit thinner. Okay. Then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to hit W to move over. And let's see how symmetrical we are. This is just inside of our pillar, and this is also just inside of our pillar. Okay. So let's see. We'll take a quick ground plane so we can see what we're talking about here. Let's hit R to just pull that out, W to move that down, and have to zoom in. Like so. Okay. So that is not bad. One little element I want to add down here in the front, and for that I'll just borrow our window again. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate. Let's move that forward. I'm going to go to mesh and separate and delete that little thing down there. Then we're going to drag select the whole thing, and what we're going to do is we're going to approach it from this view. We're going to right click at a vertex. We're going to take these and these and just bring that in. And that's exactly the distortion that I was talking about. So let's do that differently. Let's do it like this. Mesh. Modify center pivot. Let's do this and this, and then scale it, trying to get the proportions right. And let's hit W, bring that down. And I'm just trying something here, guys, so bear with me. I have to zoom in. Okay, so we're going to hit R to scale it up a little bit to about there, then stretch it out, W to bring that in, and then let's adjust these vertices. So I'm going to take these and bring them down, and take these and bring them up like so. And then we're gonna right click and hit R to scale that in. Let's push that way in. W to bring that in here. Have to zoom in. Okay. Then let's get rid of the rest of our floating window here. Delete that. And then what we're going to do with this guy is, let's see, we'll take mesh and separate. We'll take 1 and 2, mesh combine, Control D, W to move down. To zoom in. What we'll do is we'll hit R, we'll push it down slightly. Actually, let's not do that. It's going to distort too much. We'll take our vertices, W and W. Doesn't seem to be in the middle here, so I'm just gonna go to mesh and separate, so I can take this guy, modify and center pivot. I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to Control D to duplicate it, and I'm going to move it over here. And that is just that little extra detail, which is not bad. However, it's better when there are three. So I'm going to hit Control D once again. I'm going to move that to about here. Yeah, looks better. Okay, so we're getting there, folks. Our roof. All right. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to take a polygon. What is that with that sphere today? A polygon cube. I'm going to bring that up, and I'm actually thinking whether I should do that with a plane or not. Just going to hit R to scale that, push that way, way down. Whoops. Come on. Okay, and then we're going to have a look from this angle here. Let's bring that down a bit more. So I'm going to hit W, I'm going to move that over, and I'm going to bring that down. And what we're going to do is have a look and make sure that it's positioned okay, and it is, yep. Then we're going to right click on a vertex, take these vertices, and we're going to start to bring that over here. I have to zoom in. And we do want this to stick out a little bit, so we'll do something like that, and then we'll have a look. Just gonna hide my floor here for a sec. Control H to hide, because it's getting on my way. That looks all right. So then we're gonna go in and we're gonna right click on a face, select this face, Control E to extrude, W to pull out, and then we're going to go in here again and we're going to bring that down and mimic that angle, and let's see if we're good, and it looks like we are. Let's see. Yeah, very close. Just gonna take that and okay. Now for the tricky part. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to insert edge loop, option box, make sure we're on manual, which is good. We're gonna add an edge loop on the top here, and it needs to be spot on in the middle of that guy. Okay. So let's see if we are. Not too bad. Hit Q on our keyboard. We're going to right click on a vertex. We're going to take these two vertices and we're going to W and we're going to move them very, very slightly, like so. Okay. Then we're going to go in. We're going to right click and go to face. Select this face, Control E to extrude, W to pull out, and you want that to stick out as well, roughly the same amount as that section there, so probably something like this. And we are going to have to close up a gap here in a sec, so we're going to hit Control E to extrude that as well, W to pull that out. And then we're gonna bring that down like so. Have to zoom in. And we're gonna have the same angle for the roof, obviously. Let's have a look here. It's not too bad. So now let's deal with this here. Okay. Couple of ways we can do this. Let's get an edge. I'm going to take this edge Control E to extrude it, W to move it, like so. And once that is moved to right there, then we're going to right click at a vertex. We're going to take this vertex and push that down. And we're going to take this vertex and push that down. And we still have this area here. And for that, what we're going to do is we're going to hit 4 for wireframe mode. We're going to try to get the face back here, which is going to be very, very difficult to reach. But hopefully I'll be able to do it one way or the other. I think it's this guy. I hope it's that guy. Control E to extrude and W to pull out. Now there will be some overlap, so don't shoot me. There you go. So let's have a look around here. So we've got our porch, doors, windows, and etc, etc, etc. So this is pretty much it, guys. This is our house. And I'm just going to turn on my plane again here. So we're going to go to display and show all. And what we'll do is we'll drag select this in object mode, drag select all of it. We're going to go to mesh and combine, modify center pivot. I'm going to go to edit, delete by type, history, and modify and freeze transformations. Then we're going to right click assign new material. We're going to go with a Lambert, like so. And let's hit Control A to open up our Lambert. We'll change that color to white. Then we'll bring in some lights. Let's go into our render settings. And I'm going to use mental ray. I'm going to go to quality, quality 1.27. Lighting quality is fine. I'm going to go to my common tab and set the resolution to HD 1080. That's all good. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go to scene. I'm going to use image-based lighting. So I'm just going to pick a file for that. And let's see. Actually, I got this guy that I like very much, which is arches, so we're going to use that one. And let's see, let's close that and close that, and then I'm going to add a directional light. And then I'm going to hit 7 on my keyboard to activate that light. W to pull that out. Pull that up, E to rotate it, and push that down somewhat. I'm going to turn off my grid here. Let's turn this on. I'm just going to get that sun out. Okay. So Now that I'm looking at it, because of the width of the house, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to mesh and separate. So I can take this window here and duplicate it over, just for symmetry purposes. Okay, so that will be mesh combine, Control D to duplicate, W to move over. And that will just help the overall look, I think. Okay, so let's see, that would be kind of a good angle, I think, and let's have a go. I'll pause the video, hit render, and see you guys in a sec. Okay guys, there you have it. There's our house. I think it turned out okay, and you know, have fun with that. I would advise you to make it your own, change the design, texture it, and just have some fun with that. Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and see you guys next time. Bye.